Hello everyone, welcome to a new video, a new planty video. It is me, Desiree. I'm standing today, I know, but I wanted to do a video that I hope is going to be fun. I did two other videos like this in the past, which I will link down below, but today is going to be another ranking video. I'm going to be ranking all of my philodendrons. So I have 17 of them. Most of them I do really like, but some just I like a little more than others. And there are a couple on the bottom of the list. There's only really one though that I would like get rid of if I had the heart to. So I'm gonna be ranking all these plants. Please keep in mind, these are just plants. These aren't people. I'm not ranking people. On my Hoya video, I had a really funny comment that I think about all the time because I ranked all of my Hoyas. So there were gonna be some on the bottom of the list that I didn't like. And someone left me a comment saying, no such thing as worst Hoya, just worst plant parent. And I busted out laughing when I heard that comment. So please keep in mind, these are just plants. If you ranked them differently, that's cool, let me know. But let's start with the one on the bottom of the list, number 17, my Philodendron Selloum. Okay, this poor thing. It's just such a big plant and it takes up a lot of space. And half the pot is empty. I mean, the leaf shape is very cool. I really like this. That's why I wanted it. I got this at Home Depot. It was a full plant, real big and just lush. But I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was just lack of light or what, but like a lot of the leaves died off and then the ones that were here, they just kind of became really lackluster. It definitely needs water, I can tell. But yeah, I just don't like how much real estate it takes up and it kind of sits there all sad on the floor. Looks cool in this basket, but it's a shell of the man he once was. If you have one of these, let me know how you take care of it because I want it to thrive. But right now, like I'm this close to throwing it outside and just making it survive out there because it hates me so much. Okay, number 16 is this little guy. This is the Philodendron Bipennifolium. I bought this on Cactus Club right when I saw it and I felt crazy when I bought this. And I think it's because at that time I was just seeing all these plants for the first time. I never heard of this, never saw it. I thought I was never gonna see it again, so I bought it. And it arrived with this leaf and it's cracked and it just doesn't look that good. And then this leaf here too, which has a lot of like cosmetic damage. It took a long time for it to grow these 3 leaves. Like this one just popped out, it's still really soft. This was a new one as well. I don't know what it is about this. I just don't care about it. Maybe if I cut off this leaf that I hate so much, like cut that off and then just had like this little plant. Maybe if I put it in a different pot, I don't know. I have had experiences before with plants. Like once I switched out the pot, I loved the plant. Maybe this will be one of those experiences, but this one, I just don't care about it. It like gets lost and I always forget I even have it. Yeah, just not one of my faves. Okay. Number 15, this is the Philodendron 69686 and I featured this in a video not too long ago and it was plants I regret buying. This was one of them and I still regret buying it. It was just so expensive for what it was and how it arrived. I mean, buying plants online is always a gamble, but 2 of the like leaf things fell off. So normally it has like another leaf here, another one here. They got like some spot that was like eating up the leaf, so I just cut it off. And these 2 are doing fine, but it did put out 2 new leaves like back to back. This one popped out, which is very cool. And then this one too, like bigger and more cool. And then it's working on a little leaf right here. So I don't know. Just not one of my favorites. I think the new leaves are possibly going to change my mind because this looks really cool. Like if this is how the plant had arrived, I'd be very happy. But since I already had like a bad taste in my mouth from the plant and how it arrived and how it was looking, it's gonna take a lot for this plant to change my mind, and it'll take more than just 2 very cool leaves. But yeah, number 15, it'll grow on me, I'm sure, but right now, not my fave. Okay, number 14 is my Rojo Congo, which is right here on this shelf. This plant is fine. It's just fine. This used to be a Philodendron Birkin, but all the Birkin-y leaves fell off, and this is all that's left of it. And it grows only on one side of the pot, and over time it kind of just like fell down this way, and it got like this little root that like stuck in. So even if I tried to pull it up to like stand it up, it might rip that root. So I just kind of let it do its thing. It's growing all the leaves on the same side of the pot. I mean, it's fine. Like, if this one ever died, I wouldn't even care. It's just fine. You know what I mean? It's a plant. What are you gonna do? I don't know. I have no opinion on this. It just sits there and it takes up space for now. I don't know. That's mean, isn't it? But some plants, you know, they can't all be winners. They can't. They can't all be your favorite. And that one definitely is not. Okay, number 13. Oh, number 13, my Prince of Orange. Okay, so I felt so bad keeping this plant out of the top 10 because this was my favorite for so long, and I still really like it. I have like a weird sentimental attachment to it. I've only had this for a year, but I have sentimental value with this plant now. So I bought this 75% off at my local nursery here called Osuna, and it was what I now know people refer to as a rehab plant. It was 75% off. It was completely out of the pot. Like the root ball was sitting, it's as if the whole pot tipped over and they just got the plant and like put it on top. Like it wasn't even potted in the plant, it was in the pot. But I bought it anyway because I was like, a Prince of Orange, I've never seen one before. It was infested with millipedes and centipedes, which I didn't realize till I got home. I rehabbed it myself. It's growing so beautiful and so lush, and I really, really like this plant a lot. It's got this beautiful shade of green on the leaves, and then the new ones grow in kind of orange, and then they kind of fade over time and they do just turn green. This plant needs a lot of light to thrive, and if you give it a lot of light, like put it in a bright sunny window, it will just bust out leaves left and right. But I moved it to a spot that it didn't really care for, and you know, it's just kind of sitting there kind of not doing anything right now. Like this new leaf popped out and it still hasn't even flattened out or unfurled all the way, and it's been like that for months. So yeah, a plant I really love and would recommend to anybody. It's so easy, no issues. Water it when it's dry, give it light, and it'll thrive, and that's kind of it. You know, it's a basic, easy plant. Definitely a good philodendron, just out of the top 10 though. And number 12 is this. This is the lemon lime, or the lemon lime heartleaf philodendron, I think. So the leaves have this really pretty heart shape. Isn't it interesting how philodendron can be such a wide, like varied species of plant? You have this like heavy foliage plant, and then you have that 69686 that grows one leaf at a time, and it's like all big and crazy. Plants are just so cool, aren't they? But I really like this plant. The one reason I don't love it as much as I could is this pot. I have come to realize they put plants in this color of a pot because it really makes the plant look more vibrant and more green or whatever. But I hate this color so much. It just clashes so much with the plant. I think if I repotted this, I would like it a lot more. This is another really, really easy plant. Water it when it's dry. That's kind of it. It has no pests, no issues, no problems. It'll just sit there and thrive away if you put it in a bright spot. Hold on, what's that? Oh, it's dust. I was like, hold on, what the heck? I forgot when we turned on the air conditioner, all kinds of crap fell out and it seemed like a bunch of plaster and stuff. It was all over my peace lily. I had to take it out and hose it down. And that's what's all over these leaves. I was like, hold on. I was just bragging that you were pest free, but it's just like plaster dust from the air conditioner because it sits on a top shelf that the air hits like right on. So this is a very easy plant. Really cool if you want something that's just gonna vine and like, you know, go over your picture frames and stuff. This is a really cool one to have. So yeah, like this one a lot. I just really want to repot it. Okay, this next plant is one I used to hate. I hated the Philodendron Brazil. I just did not like the green on green variegation. So it has these dark green leaves with a big splashy stripe of lemon lime right in the middle. And I just didn't like that. I just didn't like those two colors together. I also did not like the pot I had it in or the spot I had it in. I really just would look at it and be like, why did I buy that? And then one day I put it in the bathroom and I fell in love with it because I saw it every single day. It just sat on the counter. It like exploded with new growth. I don't know if it was just a combination of like the extra humidity that the bathroom has, or the light. So it gets a ton of light in that spot because there's a skylight right outside the door that just beams light right into the bathroom. And I think that's what caused this to really just explode with growth. So the back is kind of bare. You can tell this is leaning this way towards the door where it's getting a lot of light. And I fell in love with this. I love it so much. I did grow too much, though I had to move it off the counter. I did cut some of the longer vines off to kind of propagate, and I'm gonna stick them back in the top here to kind of fill in that little bald spot there. But I love this. It's just as easy as the lemon lime one. It just looks a little different, a little more colorful. So if you like the green on green variegation, this plant is super, super easy. Just water it when it's dry, give it some light and it'll thrive for you. And that's kind of it. You know, most plants are a lot easier than care guides would have you believe. You know, this one's super, super easy and I love it. I used to hate it too. Okay, we're in the top 10. So I need that music from like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire coming out right now. So my number 10, top 10 favorite philodendron is this. This is a jungle boogie, and I did feature this in a favorites video not too long ago, and I just love this plant. Every time I see it, I love it more and more. And this used to be one too that I thought was so boring. I didn't like it. I regretted buying it. But then it just started growing and growing, and I just love this leaf shape now. It's got like this, I don't know, sawtooth kind of pattern on the edges. I love it. I think it's so cool and so wild, and it grows so funny. I'm sure if I put this like on a stake or something, I could stand it up and it would grow up, but I love, oh my God, it touched, the tip of that leaf touched my eyeball. Ugh, okay. Why am I flinging it around like that right next to my face? Okay. But I love the way that it's growing kind of long and crazy, and the way it sits on the corner of the desk here, just kind of like lays on top of like a couple of things that are there, and I love it so much. This one is a thirstier philodendron. I find I have to water this one, it seems like almost once a week, and the other ones I don't water that often. I wait till they're completely dry. But this one, like the second it gets dry, it's like falling everywhere. So a little bit of a thirstier plant, but you know, it's cool and I love it. And look how wild it looks. It's just so cool. I love them so much. So top 10 material for sure. Okay, I don't remember how it was laying. Just gonna put it like that for now. Okay, number 9 is my Philodendron Silver Stripe. So this one looks so similar to the Brazil, but it has a different, it's different, okay? The leaf shape is different. It's a lot more slender and like pointy at the tip, and it doesn't have green on green variegation. It's more of like a cream color. Same kind of little heart leaf shaped leaf, but cream color variegation and like a more elongated leaf tip. This one was just sitting in the water, so I have it in this little drip tray here. But I really like this little plant. I don't know why. I just think it's so cute. Where it sits at, how it looks, this pot, everything about it. I just love it. And it's in this little dog planter here that I got at Target. It does have a drainage hole in it. I don't remember how much it was. It was either $3 or $5. I will buy some more of these next year. I didn't realize Target was going to put out such like really good quality planters in like their little dollar section that they have. But I love this. I want more plants like this in little face pots. I put this in here because I thought it would be like hair or something, but it like totally covers his face now. But I love this little plant. I don't know. It's not the flashiest or the biggest or the craziest, but I don't know. I just like it. I like it. I'm drawn to it. It's definitely in my top 10. Again, super, super easy. You know, all of these plants are actually really easy and easier than you think they're going to be. Except that Selloum. I can't figure that plant out. Okay, we're down to number 8, and it is the heartleaf philodendron. Okay, the good old heartleaf philodendron. I freaking love this plant. I have it sitting on a top shelf in my living room. I have these long vines kind of hanging over some pictures that are right there. And this plant just loves life. It loves whatever you want to do to it. You put it in like a lower light situation, it'll make do with that. Higher light, it'll love life. It's just so good. It's such a good plant. I got one of these for my grandma too, and she really loves it. She has it sitting on a little shelf, and it's just so pretty. She has hers like all shined up, and just looks really cool. So I love this. If you want a vining plant, like one that's just going to give you a jungle vibe all over your house, this is the one. It's really easy to propagate, which means it's really easy to just take cuttings and like root them in water. grow some more plants. You could stick them back in the pot to get more vines going around the backside, or to create more plants to vine all over your house. This is just a great one. Where I live, it's readily available at the grocery store. Another one that I got for $12.99, and I love it. Every time I see another one, I'm like, I gotta stop myself from buying it because it's just lush and beautiful and full and gorgeous, and definitely a favorite for a lot of people, and for good reason. Like, man, just a gorgeous plant. Definitely top 10 material. Dang, I love this one. Okay, number 7, the Philodendron Mykins. I mean, this is another one that's a favorite for a lot of people. Same kind of growth habit as that one I just showed you. But what makes this one so special are, not that my hair got stuck in it, the leaves. The leaves are just out of this world. They have this beautiful texture to them. It feels like a really, really fine, like velvet or felt, not felt, velvet. Velvet's the way to go. Just a gorgeous plant. Like, I can't believe this is a real thing. It's just absolutely gorgeous. This one particular plant just exploded with growth for some reason earlier this year. And I have another one that literally does nothing. Watch, let me grab it for you. It's this one that I got from Lowe's. I don't know why this one won't do anything. It's in the same room with the same lighting and everything, but it's just like, just kind of poor for some reason. I don't know what it is. And I just gave one of these to my grandma because I had another one because I loved it so much. And I hope she likes it. I potted it up and gave it to her, and I think she would really like it. But this one, for some reason, just really took off, and it's just gorgeous. And another really cool thing about these is that in the light, I'm sure you can't see from here, I'll have to put a picture in somehow to capture the way that these glow. They have like a shimmer to the leaves. It looks weird. And honestly, I thought it was makeup that I had got on it, like from tapping off my brushes or something, that's what was causing that, but I've seen other people say it has that shimmer. And then when the light hits the room the right way, like it's the golden hour, this plant just catches on fire. Like, it looks gorgeous in the sun. Super, super easy. Another plant that looks and seems like it might be really difficult or fussy, but it's not. It's so easy. You just let it dry out and you water it, and that's it. I have mine in a south-facing window. It's on that shelf right there, but the window's right there. Gets a lot of really good light in the afternoon, and it just seems to really be happy with me, and man, I love this plant so much. Just love it. Number 6. Number 6 is my golden dragon. So this is a one leaf cutting that I bought from Cactus Club. I like a lot of the plants they have on their website, and this was one they featured that I thought I would never, ever see in real life. And I've never seen one in real life, like for sale. But this is so cool. I mean, look how amazing this leaf shape is. It's just amazing. And I thought this was just gonna be one cutting of a plant, but it was rooted and potted. I thought it was literally just gonna be a fresh cutting, and I didn't think it was gonna grow. I thought it was just gonna stay the one leaf, which was still cool with me because it looks awesome. But it put out 2 little leaves. It put out this one right here, and this one, and it's putting out this one here too. So, I mean, it's growing in rocks. I probably should repot this or put it in something different. But I mean, it's doing fine in there. It's just aesthetically, it's not the nicest, but I love this. I know it's just a couple leaves, but man, I love the shape of this leaf. If I could find like a big one, would I get it even? Like, I don't have room for that big old plant. I love my one leaf cutting. It's so gorgeous, so pretty. If you have the opportunity to buy a one leaf rooted cutting and it's like $15 or so, get it. It's gorgeous. It's like a beautiful work of art. It did stand up on its own for a long time, but every now and then I find it like drooping like this. So I put this big old stake on it to kind of hold it up. But even if this stayed the one leaf forever, I would still love it so much. And I was expecting that too, and I bought it anyway. Man, I just freaking love it. Gorgeous. Top 5. We're officially in the top 5. Okay, and now that I'm carrying this plant in here, it doesn't look that good in comparison to some of the other like gorgeous ones I showed you, but there's just something about this that I love. and that's why it's number 5. And this is the Fuzzy Petiole. I found this here at Osuna Nursery. I thought I would never ever see this in real life, like ever. And I freaked out when I saw it. Of course, I pulled them all out and lined them up and picked out the best one. And I'm so happy with this plant. It is a little tricky. I'm still getting to know it. Like, it has this crispy little bit right here. I'm thinking maybe it needs more water than I'm realizing, because most of my philodendron, I just let them dry completely out before I water them. Maybe this one isn't one of those. Because other than that, like, it's getting good light and everything, but maybe I'm letting it get too dry, you know? But it's a really cool leaf, again, with a really nice texture. It kind of feels the same as a Mykins, like that weird velvety feeling. But one really weird thing about this plant is it's called Fuzzy Petiole. I'm guessing because these petioles are fuzzy. But there are other philodendron that have this on them too that are not called the Fuzzy Petiole. So I'm guessing they kind of are running out of names. I don't know. But it has like this little bumpy kind of texture to it. It kind of feels like it has pieces of plastic on it or something. It's really, really wild. And I just really like this. I love where it's sitting on the shelf. I love the feeling and texture of these leaves. I just love the way that it's growing. It has a couple of new little growth points coming out. And it's really awesome.
Really, really awesome.
I'm going to kind of stay on top of the watering and maybe keep it a little more wet, not let it dry out. Maybe that might help those crispy tips. But if you have one, let me know how you take care of yours. That way we can all share our care tips. Okay, hold on. Oh no, it's nothing. I don't know, this light is making me see the leaves in a whole new way. Anyway, number 5, Philodendron Fuzzy Petiole. Okay, number 4, the Philodendron Squamiferrum. I can't believe I have this. I found this at Lowe's. Costa Farms put these out, and from what I could tell, they only put them out in this giant form, not their like normal $20 pots. But look how freaking big the leaves are. They're so huge, so mature, so cool. And again, this one does have the fuzzy stems. So I wonder why they named that one Fuzzy Petiole. Maybe this one had another name. Why they call this Squamiferrum, I have no idea. I heard someone say once they call it Squamiferrum because it looks like Squidward, but that doesn't make any sense because Squidward's name isn't Squammy. I don't know why people say that. Either way, this plant is so freaking cool. I kept this outside the whole entire summer. I had it in my covered porch in my front yard, and it busted out with leaves. Like, leaves left and right were growing 2 at a time. Like, it just exploded with growth. It has a ton of opportunity for propagations. Like, there are aerial roots and little cuttings I can cut all over this thing. And I think it's just so freaking awesome. I was so happy with this plant. I thought it was going to be a little more difficult than it is, but it's easy. Just like all of these are easy, except the Selloum. I don't know what that one wants. But yeah, super easy plant. If you see it and you want it, I would say get it. It was $50, which is a lot for a plant, but for one this big and for how much it grew this summer, I would recommend getting this one. If you can swing 50 bucks for a big giant plant, I don't think you can go wrong. Like, it's gonna do well for you, and I love it. I think this is so freaking awesome. I literally have nothing bad to say about it. At first I thought the price was a little high, but now I think the price was kind of low for this plant, for what I see this big plant go for online. Like, yeah, this was awesome. Okay, we're in the top 3, and I agonized over the top couple. I already knew what number 1 was going to be immediately because it's just it's just my favorite plant. It's one that I would save for my burning house. Anyway, number 3, the Ring of Fire. And this plant was on my wish list before I even knew that people made wish lists. I just saw this and I thought, oh my God, I have to have one of those one day. It's an expensive plant, but so far it's been very easy. Like I've been saying, all these plants are pretty easy. Look how amazing the shape of that leaf is. So I bought this from the Wild Flourishing online. I'll link any places I bought these plants. I will link them in the description box if they have a website, so you can go check them out. I bought this from her online. It arrived in amazing shape. It had 3 leaves, this big one, this little one that was just coming out, and then this one right here. This little one never totally unfurled, like the little pieces are still here. It's kind of small. And it hadn't done anything since I bought it, but it put out this leaf while I was gone on vacation, so I missed the whole experience of getting to see it. But I came home and I lost my mind. I was so excited. And these plants grow with all this beautiful coloring, like this, like it just looks speckled, like I don't know, something speckled and beautiful. And the color does kind of fade over time. And one of you guys did mention that you have one that the variegation does fade on the more mature leaves, but it stays there for a long time. And then look, another leaf is growing. I can't believe it. So I'm so excited about this plant now that it's putting out leaves. I think why it's called Ring of Fire is it grows around the pot and it kind of starts off kind of looking really, I don't know, on fire. So I love this plant. Wasn't the cheapest plant in the world, but I have no regrets about buying it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous and it's been super easy so far. Love it so much. Definitely top 3 material. So the number 2. This one I almost put at number 1, but I just couldn't. In my heart, I couldn't. This is my Philodendron McDowell. So I have a hard time with this plant because it's growing out of the pot, and I've seen people put these in like those long planters, but I don't want to have one of those planters in my table over here. But I might have to upgrade to that one because it is very top heavy. I'm gonna have to hold it like this. Anyway, I saw, who did I see that had one of these that was really big and really cool looking? And I bought this on Cactus Club. They came out with it. I got one earlier this year and that one did not do well. It arrived with one broken leaf, like one of these big leaves was cracked right off. 2 of the other leaves had a black spot that ate the whole leaf up. And right now I have what's left of it, which is 2 puny little messed up leaves and 1 new growth point living in a cup of water. So that plant just went downhill quickly, but I kind of think it was just the plant because I bought this one from their website the second I saw it go on sale again, or for sale, and this one has done nothing but absolutely thrive. The leaves are really, really big. I mean, look how cool and big that freaking leaf is. The leaves are really big. The plant takes up a lot of space. This is the new leaf right here that just grew. It's still hardening off, like it literally just unfurled. And this is the new stem that it popped off on. This did have another leaf, but unfortunately one day I came in here and the plant was on the ground. This plant was on the floor and one of the leaves had cracked right off. But it had a new growth, why do I keep wanting to say growth point? It had a new growth point. This is the leaf that came in. And this plant is awesome. Again, so easy. It's so easy. The only thing that is kind of annoying about it is that it will change shape in a moment's notice. So right now, it kind of looks like this. If the sun was coming in through the window really strong, all of the stems would turn and face there. So sometimes this stem right here faces completely straight up, and the leaf is straight up. And then other times it'll like twist and bend and get all crazy. I don't know why they do that. So this plant did get spider mites one time. I have cleaned it. I kept an eye on it. So far, so good. I love it so much. Even if I had to clean spider mites once a month off this plant, I wouldn't even care. It's just gorgeous. Not the cheapest plant in the world, but if you can keep it going, like you could easily propagate this thing, sell it, make your money back, make some more plants. Just really cool, but it needs a lot of room and the stems take up a lot of space. So just keep that in mind. Like if you were to buy one of these, they get really big really fast. So just a heads up on that. And I think I do need to move this to another pot. So any of you that have been keeping an eye on my background have noticed I haven't pulled down that one to talk about yet. What's that one? Well, it's my Philodendron Brazil. And this plant might not be the most exciting to some people. I don't see anybody really talk about this plant ever. When I first bought it, I looked it up online and I only found one YouTube video on it, but she made me feel better about getting it. But I rarely see this one available for sale anymore. I don't hear anybody talk about it. Guess where I got it? Cactus Club. And I do have an unboxing video of this actually on my other channel. I have a second YouTube channel where I talk about beauty products. And when I first got into plants, I thought I would just incorporate plants into that channel, but I didn't really like the idea too much. But I did film an unboxing of this plant. I'll link that video down below in case you want to see it. The plant will grow a lot closer together if you give it more light. So the less light it gets, the more of a gap it's gonna put in between each leaf. So the more it's gonna take up space. As you can see, the ones down here are growing really, really close together. I'm guessing this was like when it was in optimal conditions at the greenhouse. And then I brought it home and it was like, it put out these 2 leaves, and then afterwards it was like, well, I'm not getting enough light. But I'm thinking that's what it is, because I mean, look how tall this plant is. Let me stand all the way back here. Look how tall it is. I have it up there on my shelf, so that way it doesn't take up a ton of space. This plant also will lean towards the light. So the stems, all of them are facing that way because that's where the window is. I used to have this on that shelf on the side of the window, and this, oh no. And one of the leaves down here actually had the stem bent all the way around like this, so that way the leaf would face the light. It was the weirdest thing. So I took it and moved it immediately. That way it was facing, like the light was in front of the plant. So that way all the stems would go forward. I think I do want to start chopping and propping this just because there's too much of a gap between the leaves here. So like there's a ton of aerial roots all the way around this leaf. Like I could easily cut that, root it, and have another plant, and then kind of make it, you know, smaller back down to here, and then kind of either sell these or keep them as more bobsies in my house, you know. The reason this is number 1 is because it was the first like really weird plant I never heard of before that I bought. I was just getting into plants. Maybe a month later I bought this, and I thought like, oh my god, I have the most exotic plant collection of anybody I know, and I just love it. Like if my house was burning down and a firefighter told me to go inside and grab 3 of my favorite plants, this is definitely going to be one of them, if not the first one I grab for. I just love it. I mean, the bottom of the plant is more full of leaves. It grows on really long stems. If I gave this like a pole or something, I'm sure it would like attach to it maybe, or I'd have to attach it. But it seems to grow just fine standing straight up on its own. But I think the time has come for me to kind of chop and prop it. But yeah, number 1 forever, the Philodendron Bobsy. If not, for a lot of sentimental value too. I'll adjust that later. But that is it. Those are all of my philodendrons ranked. Let me know what you think. Did I get the order wrong? Do some of your plants end up on the bottom? It's okay, they're just plants. We all have different likes and dislikes and preferences and that kind of stuff. But let me know if you have any of these, where would you rank them? Let me know some of your top 3. Let me know some of your favorite philodendron. I would love to know that too. But that is it. If you're still here, thank you so much. I know this was a long video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss my next video. And I will see you later in another plenty video. Goodbye.